living alone in our later years can be one of the most fulfilling journeys of a lifetime. It's not just about quiet solitude, it's about creating a space that's purely yours. A sanctuary where passions flourish, growth continues, and personal freedom reigns. Having spent a significant part of my own life independently, I've come to treasure the unique wisdom and resilience it has brought. But today, I'm sharing more than just a list of benefits. We'll dive into the emotional and practical rewards of living solo, inspired by real stories from those of us who are navigating this path. If you're living alone or considering this journey, this might be the most empowering chapter of your life. So, stay with us as we explore these insights together, and remember to subscribe for more videos like this, designed to support and inspire you on this path of independence. Benefit number 1: absolute freedom. One of the greatest joys of living alone in later years is the unmatched freedom it brings. It's a profound sense of liberation to know that, from the moment you wake up until you drift back to sleep, you have full command over each aspect of your day. There's no need to compromise on your preferences. No need to adjust your rhythm to match anyone else's. It's truly your time, your space, and your choices. Reflecting on this freedom reminds me of the early days when I first began living alone. The exhilaration was unmistakable. For the first time in ages, I was waking up when I wanted, making breakfast exactly to my liking, and then spending leisurely mornings absorbed in books or hobbies, without a single interruption. There was no rush, no pressure, just pure, uninterrupted time that felt both luxurious and empowering. Imagine someone like Robert, a retired architect in his late 60s. With his newfound freedom, he rekindled his passion for painting, a creative outlet he'd put aside for decades while balancing a demanding career and family life. Now, in the quiet of his living room, Robert has set up a small art studio, a space where he can let his imagination run free. He paints late into the night, capturing landscapes and scenes from memory. For him, those hours after dusk, once lost to the demands of a shared life, have become his most productive and inspired time. This personal rhythm, one that allows him to follow his creative instincts without worry, has reignited his joy in a way he never thought possible. Living alone also means you have the freedom to embrace even the most eccentric interests or passions, no matter how unusual they may seem. Perhaps you find yourself drawn to learning about astronomy and spend nights on the balcony, stargazing with a telescope. Or maybe you discover a fascination with world cuisine and transform your kitchen into a culinary playground, experimenting with spices and recipes without anyone raising an eyebrow. This freedom to explore without constraints is a kind of self-expression that's both refreshing and deeply fulfilling. In this autonomy, every corner of your home becomes a reflection of who you are. You're no longer sharing space or shaping routines around someone else's needs. Instead, you're creating a life filled with moments that resonate with your true self. The freedom to define your own life, unbound by external expectations, is an experience that's both rejuvenating and transformative, making solo living feel like a rewarding journey of self-discovery. Benefit number 2: peace and tranquility. The tranquility that comes with living alone is a unique luxury, often only truly appreciated later in life. After decades spent managing work, raising a family, and juggling endless responsibilities, many find that solo living offers a rare and cherished calm. It becomes a sacred opportunity to reflect, meditate, or simply bask in quiet moments without the interruptions of a busy household. Imagine the gentle silence of an early Sunday morning, a time when the world outside is still wrapped in slumber. You prepare yourself a warm cup of coffee and settle down by the window, letting the simple pleasure of the moment sink in. There's no rush, no one vying for your attention, just the sounds of birds chirping outside and the soft rustling of leaves in the wind. In that peacefulness, a deep sense of calm emerges. It's a kind of serenity that can only blossom in true solitude, when no one else is around to break the spell. Think of someone like Margaret, a retired nurse who dedicated years to caring for others. Now living alone, she has discovered the art of solitude in her cozy apartment overlooking a small, leafy park. Each morning, she takes her tea out onto her little balcony, breathing in the fresh air and watching the sun rise over the trees. This simple routine has become a daily retreat, A moment of quiet reflection from a life once defined by hustle and care for others. Here, she reconnects with herself, finding joy in her own company and a peace that fills her with clarity and contentment. Such moments of stillness bring a renewed sense of perspective. In the silence, you start to appreciate life's subtle joys, the warm sunlight streaming through your window, the gentle sound of your own breath, and the calm that fills your mind as you sit undisturbed. It's as though life slows down, allowing you to fully experience each moment. Living alone lets you create these sanctuaries of quiet reflection, and they gradually become a source of inner strength and calm in an often chaotic world. This solitude and calmness enable you to connect with yourself on a deeper level, to reflect on your journey, and to focus on what truly matters. Living alone becomes an invitation to cultivate a personal sanctuary, a peaceful space where every thought and feeling has room to unfold. It's within these silent, solitary moments that the true beauty of a peaceful life fully blooms. Benefit number 3: personal growth and self-discovery. Living alone later in life offers an invaluable chance for personal growth, a unique period where you're gifted with the space and time to reflect deeply on your life, your choices, and the direction you wish to take moving forward. With no distractions or obligations to meet others' expectations, this becomes an opportunity to reconnect with your inner self and to uncover what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. I recall a pivotal phase in my life, where I stood at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take. The demands and noise of everyday life had, for too long, drowned out my own inner voice. I had reached a point where I wasn't even sure what I genuinely wanted anymore. But as I embarked on this journey of living alone, something transformative happened. In the calm of quiet evenings and the solitude of weekends spent in my own company, a fertile ground for introspection began to take shape. I found myself reaching for a journal, something I hadn't done since my youth. On those blank pages, I began to reconnect with dreams and passions that I'd long set aside, allowing myself to freely explore without judgment or rush. Consider someone like James, a man in his late 50s whom I came across in an online community. After a lengthy career and the end of a long marriage, he decided to move to a small cabin near a tranquil lake. There, in the stillness of nature, he started journaling again, delving into philosophy, and even began meditating, something he'd never imagined would bring such clarity. He shared how the solitude allowed him to peel back the layers of societal expectations, uncovering a truer, more authentic version of himself that he'd almost forgotten existed. Living alone, for him, was like opening a door to a sanctuary of self-reflection and renewal. In these moments of self-discovery, each day becomes an exploration of your inner world. Perhaps you revisit past hobbies, take up new studies, or engage in creative pursuits that you'd never had time for in the past. This journey is not about meeting external goals, rather, it's about aligning more deeply with who you are. The quiet surrounding you becomes a companion, encouraging you to embrace your true self, not as defined by roles or relationships, but simply as you are. This kind of personal growth, where solitude becomes a guide, is indeed transformational. It's a process that strips away superficial layers and brings to the surface the dreams, passions, and values that may have been hidden for years. Embracing this period of life with openness allows for a reconnection that's not only fulfilling but also profoundly healing, making solo living a path to deeper self-understanding and personal evolution. Benefit number 4: complete control over your environment. Living alone in later life brings with it the remarkable freedom to shape your surroundings exactly as you wish. Whether you choose to keep your space meticulously organized or lean into a relaxed, lived-in aesthetic, the choice is yours, and yours alone. This autonomy allows you to cultivate an environment that truly reflects your tastes, lifestyle, and passions, creating a living space that becomes an extension of who you are. One close friend of mine, after going through a divorce, moved into a cozy cottage in the countryside. For years, he had a fascination with collecting vintage cameras, a hobby his wife never really understood. But now, with no need for compromise, he transformed one of the spare rooms into a gallery for his collection. Each morning, he delights in stepping into that space filled with history and craftsmanship, feeling a profound sense of pride and joy. It's a room that embodies his love for photography, showcasing his identity and passion in a way that's unapologetically his own. Another gentleman I met, in his later years, shared how he reinvented his home after his children moved out. With his newfound space, he filled the house with antiques, family heirlooms, and bookshelves brimming with beloved novels. Each item he selected held personal meaning, reflecting the journey of his life, his values, and his sense of beauty. His home became more than just a place to live, it became a museum of cherished memories. A place to celebrate his past while creating new memories in the present. This kind of personal control, over both space and aesthetics, brings an immense sense of satisfaction and fulfillment, no longer bound by the compromises of shared living. Every room, piece of furniture, and decorative touch carries personal significance. There's a unique freedom in having a space that feels like a true sanctuary, a retreat that embodies your tastes, your history, and your spirit, making it a joy to return to every day. It's a deeply empowering aspect of solo living, reminding us that our surroundings can be as unique as the life we've lived. Benefit number 5: financial independence. While it might seem that living alone could lead to increased expenses at first glance, many older adults discover that it actually fosters greater financial independence. When you're the sole decision-maker regarding your finances, you gain the freedom to prioritize your needs and desires without the burden of supporting others. Consider the story of my former colleague who, after retiring, made a bold decision to sell his family home and relocate to a cozy apartment in the heart of the city. Initially, he was apprehensive about the costs associated with living alone. It felt daunting to take on the full financial responsibility. However, he soon realized that downsizing not only reduced his monthly expenses but also provided him with a newfound sense of financial freedom. Without the worry of maintaining a large house, he found he had extra funds available, allowing him to pursue hobbies he had long neglected, such as photography. This newfound passion became a vibrant part of his retirement, something he never thought possible when he was tied down by homeownership. Another inspiring story comes from a retired gentleman who opted for a smaller living space. He discovered that this choice didn't just lessen his financial obligations, it opened up a world of opportunities. With his expenses reduced, he had the means to travel, something he had always dreamed of doing. He celebrated his 70th birthday by embarking on a solo trip to Europe. An adventure he candidly admitted would have been impossible had he remained in a larger household. His experience illustrates how living independently can not only stabilize finances but also enrich life through travel and exploration. This kind of financial autonomy can be transformative. It allows you to allocate resources in ways that align with your personal aspirations. Whether that means scaling back to a more affordable residence or carefully managing your budget to prioritize experiences over obligations. The result is a lifestyle that feels liberating and fulfilling. Ultimately, the independence that comes with living alone in later life provides an opportunity to reshape your financial landscape, enabling you to live not just comfortably but joyfully, pursuing passions and experiences that bring genuine happiness. Benefit number 6: enhancing mental health. Living alone in later years can have a profoundly positive effect on mental health. While loneliness is often viewed negatively, it can also serve as a balm for the soul, a chance to step away from the relentless pressures and expectations of social life and find solace within oneself. This period of solitude can be a powerful opportunity to engage in self-discovery and cultivate mental well-being. Whether through meditation, mindfulness practices, or simply embracing the quiet moments of life. I vividly recall a particularly challenging chapter in my own life, where it felt like the weight of the world was pressing down on me. In those trying times, I found immense value in solitude. I began to take evening hikes, immersing myself in nature and allowing the serene environment to cleanse my mind of the chaos that had overwhelmed me. My home transformed into a sanctuary, a peaceful space where I could process my thoughts and emotions without external pressures clouding my judgment. The quiet became a refuge, enabling me to reconnect with myself and prioritize my mental health. An inspiring story I stumbled upon in an online community came from a gentleman in his 60s who candidly shared how living alone had helped him manage his anxiety. Without the constant noise and demands of others, he found the clarity to create a mental wellness routine that suited him. He turned his living room into a yoga studio, embracing the practice as a way to ground himself. Nature walks became a staple in his week, allowing him to find joy in the simplicity of the outdoors. He expressed that the tranquility he discovered in solitude was an experience he had never fully embraced before. The power of this newfound peace cannot be understated. By prioritizing mental health through mindful practices, individuals can cultivate a sense of balance and harmony in their lives. Living alone offers the unique advantage of carving out time and space to focus on what genuinely brings joy, be it reading a book, exploring a new hobby, or simply enjoying the serenity of an unhurried day. As many discover, the quiet moments spent in solitude can lead to profound insights and a deeper understanding of oneself. It's a time to heal, reflect, and reconnect with one's inner voice. The journey of embracing solitude can ultimately pave the way for a more fulfilled and mentally healthy life, transforming loneliness into a source of strength and resilience. Benefit number 7: strengthening meaningful connections. Living alone can surprisingly enhance your relationships with others. When you're not constantly surrounded by people, the interactions you do have become more meaningful and intentional. This newfound space allows you to appreciate the time spent with loved ones in a way that fosters deeper connections and genuine engagement. Reflecting on my own experience, I realized that once I embraced solitary living, my relationships began to evolve in profound ways. I started to approach gatherings with a sense of purpose rather than obligation. Instead of merely meeting friends and family out of habit, I found myself looking forward to our time together. Our conversations became richer and more authentic, as I made a conscious effort to be present in the moment. Each encounter transformed into an opportunity to connect, share stories, and truly listen, rather than just filling the time with small talk. A poignant example comes from a gentleman who shared his journey after several years of living alone. He described how his relationship with his children shifted dramatically. Previously, their interactions were often fraught with tension, primarily due to the stresses of cohabitation. However, after moving out, he found that their visits were no longer filled with the everyday friction that can come from sharing a home. Instead, their time together became intentional and affectionate, marked by laughter, shared meals, and heartfelt discussions. He eagerly anticipated their visits, and in turn, his children expressed their gratitude for the welcoming and relaxed atmosphere he had cultivated in his home. This intentionality in relationships fosters a sense of warmth and connection that is often absent in more chaotic living situations. By creating a space where genuine interactions can flourish, individuals living alone can strengthen their bonds with family and friends. The ability to cherish these moments, free from distractions and pressures, makes every gathering a precious occasion. As we navigate our lives, it's easy to take relationships for granted, especially when they are woven into the fabric of our daily routines. However, living alone can serve as a catalyst for renewed appreciation of these connections. It reminds us that quality often trumps quantity, and that meaningful relationships require effort, presence, and love. Ultimately, the journey of living alone can lead to a richer, more fulfilling relational landscape, transforming fleeting encounters into cherished memories and deepening the ties that bind us to those we hold dear. Benefit number 8: cultivating independence and confidence. Living alone in your later years can be a transformative journey, fostering a profound sense of independence and self-assurance. As you navigate life solo, you become the architect of your own existence, making decisions that reflect your unique desires and solving challenges on your own terms. This newfound autonomy is incredibly empowering, especially as you age. I vividly recall the first time I faced a household issue alone, a leaky faucet that had long been a source of frustration. In the past, I always relied on someone else to handle such repairs. However, there I was, alone and without anyone to turn to. Taking a deep breath, I delved into a few online tutorials and decided to take matters into my own hands. The sense of accomplishment I felt when I finally fixed that faucet was indescribable. It was more than just a plumbing issue, it was a personal victory. I proved to myself that I was capable of tackling any challenge that came my way, regardless of age. Another inspiring story comes from a gentleman who shared his experience of adjusting to life alone after losing his wife. Initially apprehensive about living solo, he gradually embraced the independence that came with it. He learned to manage his household, prepare meals, and even handle small repairs that he once shied away from. This journey was not just about survival, it was about rediscovering his capabilities. The independence he cultivated brought him a sense of pride and achievement he hadn't felt in years, reigniting a spark of self-esteem that had dimmed in the shadows of grief. As he navigated through the challenges of daily life, this newfound self-reliance transformed his outlook. Tasks that once seemed daunting became opportunities for growth and empowerment. Whether it was learning to cook a favorite recipe or mastering the intricacies of managing his finances, each accomplishment bolstered his confidence. Living alone also provides the space to explore personal interests that might have been sidelined. With no one else to consider, he found the freedom to pursue hobbies, engage in creative projects, and even travel, experiences that enriched his life and expanded his horizons. This journey toward independence fostered a mindset shift. He began to view challenges not as obstacles but as chances to prove his resilience and adaptability. In essence, the experience of living alone later in life can serve as a powerful catalyst for developing independence and confidence. It challenges you to step outside your comfort zone, fostering skills and self-assurance that can profoundly enhance your quality of life. Embracing this independence not only empowers you to handle life's complexities but also encourages a deeper connection with your own strengths and capabilities. Ultimately, the journey of self-discovery through solitude can lead to a renewed sense of purpose, illustrating that with each challenge faced and overcome, you are not just surviving, you are thriving, redefining what it means to live life fully and fearlessly, no matter your age. Benefit number 9: Rediscovering simple pleasures. Living alone offers a unique opportunity to reconnect with the simple joys of life, allowing you to immerse yourself in activities that bring you genuine happiness without the distractions of others. Whether it's losing yourself in a captivating book, nurturing a garden, or simply savoring a cup of tea while watching the sunset, these moments become invaluable treasures in your daily routine. I remember my own journey of rediscovering these simple pleasures. As someone who often found myself caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, it wasn't until I embraced solitude that I truly began to appreciate the serene beauty of quiet mornings. One morning, I decided to transform a small patch of my backyard into a garden, something I had always dreamed of doing but never found the time for. Now, each day begins with me tending to my plants, sipping tea, and basking in the gentle warmth of the early sun. This simple ritual has brought me immense joy and fulfillment, turning mundane moments into a serene escape from the outside world. The beauty of living alone is that you can cultivate these experiences at your own pace, free from external pressures. I stumbled upon a heartwarming video featuring an elderly man who shared his daily routines centered around his garden. He spoke passionately about the hours he dedicated to planting, watering, and nurturing his flowers and vegetables. This was not just a hobby for him, it was a sanctuary, a place where he found peace and purpose. He described the sheer delight of witnessing his garden flourish, creating a vibrant oasis that mirrored the care and love he poured into it. For him, the garden became more than just a collection of plants. It was a testament to his ability to create and nurture life. Each blossom that emerged was a reminder of the joy that can be found in the smallest of things. The man reflected on how living alone granted him the freedom to invest his time in what truly mattered, free from the obligations that often come with sharing a space. His story resonated with me deeply, highlighting how solitude can enhance our appreciation for the natural world and the simple acts that bring us happiness. This newfound focus on simple pleasures extends beyond gardening. Living alone allows for the freedom to explore creative outlets, like painting or writing, without judgment or interruption. I've found myself picking up a brush and painting the landscapes I've admired during my walks, translating the beauty around me onto canvas. Each stroke is a reminder of the tranquility I've cultivated in my life, as well as a way to express the emotions that come with solitude. In essence, living alone can rekindle a sense of wonder in our daily lives. It encourages us to slow down, appreciate the beauty in the mundane, and find joy in our own company. Whether it's through gardening, painting, or simply enjoying a moment of stillness with a warm cup of tea. These experiences allow us to reconnect with ourselves and discover the richness of our own lives. By embracing solitude, we unlock the door to a world filled with simple pleasures, proving that happiness often lies in the quietest corners of our existence. Living alone in later years isn't merely a matter of solitude, it's an invitation to embrace a lifestyle that fosters peace, personal freedom, and self-discovery. It's a rare chance to reconnect with yourself, rediscover forgotten passions, and cultivate a life that genuinely reflects who you are. For many, it becomes a path to tranquility, a way to experience financial and emotional independence, and a unique space for growth and introspection. The beauty of living alone is that it can be one of the most fulfilling choices you'll ever make. It's not just about having time to yourself, it's about creating a life that's truly yours. Shaped by your own dreams, desires, and values, this journey, though different for everyone, is often profoundly rewarding. Countless people have walked this path before and have found that it offered them a sense of purpose and satisfaction they didn't expect. If you're considering embarking on this journey, know that you're not alone. Many have discovered that solitude can be the key to unlocking one of the most meaningful and enriching chapters of their lives. So, take that leap. You might just find that living alone brings with it a depth of joy, freedom, and purpose you never imagined. Please feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if this video resonated with you, consider liking and subscribing. Thank you for watching.